Well, I know the plan was that I would see you on Sundays and Wednesdays and Mondays, but here we are on Thursday, and I have an additional Thursday thought for all of you. It's taken me a long time, perhaps longer than some of you. It's taken me a long time to define who I am. Who are you? Well, I've asked that of myself. Who are you, Noah? With your help, I'm on, at the very least, the journey. Thank God. Really, we all need to eliminate most of who we're not before we can get to who we are. We need to work on eliminating what's getting in the way. And then in this newfound freedom, which I consistently have been gifted to by the church, we can try some new things. I saw this quote recently that said, "Be brave enough to be bad at something new." And so immediately I think of golf. Takes some bravery to get out there in front of friends and swing the club, but of course it's far beyond just a simple game. This is life. And anytime I think of bravery, I think of Esther. One of my dear parishioners, an elder in a previous congregation, that is close to my heart still to this day, Salem Lutheran in Mattawa, Minnesota, we had an elder named Esther. And I saw a lot of bravery from Esther of Mattawa that also reminds me of Esther in the greatest story ever told. The greatest story ever told, just one of many stories. Esther is the 7th book of the Bible, so go ahead and check that out. It follows Nehemiah and is just before the well-known book of Job. Under incredible circumstances, Esther becomes the queen of Persia around 400 years before Jesus arrives on scene. And there's this great miracle that Esther is able to pull off. She's just a typical, ordinary citizen of the time, but eventually God uses her and she prevents an anti-Jewish persecution from a government leader named Haman. Thousands of lives were spared because of Esther's bravery. Before she became queen, Esther was a Jewish woman who lived in Persia. Ahasuerus is the king, and he has a quarrel with the queen, and then chooses Esther to be his wife. That's typical in monarchies of that time. A royal official named Haman, like I mentioned before, wanted to destroy the Jews because he got upset with a Jewish leader of the time named Mordecai. And Mordecai himself showed great bravery because Haman insisted that the Jews of the region would bow down to him and his rule in the government. But Mordecai, he would have none of it. He wouldn't bow before him. And so Haman then decided, look, I am going to go after you, Mordecai, and not only you, but all Jews. But Esther, dear Esther, she learned of the plot against the Jewish people, and she decided that she couldn't stand by and do nothing about it. She pleaded then, as she was in good favor with the king. Mordecai said, look, the king obviously loves you, and you have some pull with him. You need to step in and say, this cannot happen. She invited the king to a banquet, and after securing his favor, she pleaded with him to help the Jews. The Jews were given the right of self-defense by the king. And when the persecution began by Haman and the government leaders against the Jews, God's people withstood the onslaught and were victorious over their enemies. None of this would have happened without Esther. And I have to imagine that she was definitely afraid at times, but that didn't get in the way of her trying new things, including eventually her reigning as queen. And so now, a nod to one of my favorite movies, Cider House Rules. Good day to you, church. Good day to you, Holy Cross. Good day to you, princesses of Minnesota. You queens of the Northland. Until next time, God be with you.